Yeah. I think the previous panel has left us in quite a pressure to get the energy going. Since morning, a lot of the aspects of events have been covered, be it emceeing, be it strategizing, etc. But one core aspect, that is of the venue, has not been touched upon as yet. I mean, I think we have Siddharth here. Please welcome Siddharth. Siddharth, I was just talking about how a lot of aspects have been covered, but venue is something that has not been touched upon yet. So, for example, how can an E4M red carpet award take place if the likes of Lalit, Leela, Radisson don't exist, right? And if they don't help, to carry out the event well. So why don't we start with some examples from your end, wherein, an event, something that a venue did for an event has stood out for you. We can start with Anuj.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So I know we are under pressure because we had a MC session before us, and they were very, I would say they were very jolly in terms of taking it ahead. So to talk about the venue, which plays a very important role in having get-togethers, events for us, and it is very important these days to have an experiential venue for us. And we all believe in currently customization and personalization. That is how the venue plays an important role. To choose from, whether for events, for weddings, people prefer to have the venues which customize their needs, personalize their needs. And that is how choosing a right venue or having a flexibility of giving it to the customer is very important, which plays an important role to take the event ahead.
Okay, and Nanni, would you like to add to that?
Thanks. Okay, so before I start, I just want to know how many event people in the audience? Event managers in the audience? Nobody. Lovely. Are there artists over here? No. So basically, this is the team from Business World and Loudest and everything experiential. So we are talking to each other, typically. Thank you.
I think that's what happens when you come towards the end of the show.
So, since we're going to be talking to each other, we're going to keep this totally casual. And to be really honest, I have to say that over the last, especially post-COVID, when we went back into the space of live events, we saw that the venues were also turning around a lot. There were many things that they had also absorbed, I think. Other than sanitization, hygiene, all that was just a normal given. Simple things, because hybrid events had come in a big way, right? And we noticed that the venues were now willingly giving us dedicated lease lines, which is the biggest challenge in the case of a hybrid event. And small things. Go green being the other thing. No plastic. So these were small, well, I won't say they're small things. They're actually really big things when it comes to the entire scheme of the event. But the venues actually came up with these changes, which made life easier for us to be able to execute the events. We'll make them short and quick.
No, there are some good points you made. Yeah.
I would like to add certain thing here is that before COVID, we were looking at a venue for, especially in the hotels, if I'm representing hotels, so I could say that we were charging a premium for food, beverage, hall rentals, and all those stuff. Post-COVID, what we realize is that hybrid model, IT, is also another vertical which can create a lot of revenue for us. Because now people are not only doing events in person, they are doing events in person plus the virtual also. And that is how I told my IT head that you are again now a revenue head for us and you will get us the right moolah. So you have to create such experience and such connectivity in the events that things are going live and we can charge a premium for that.
So hybrid, sustainability, these are some topics we'll come back to later in the chat again, some important points. Coming to Ruchin, any example that you want to share with us?
So yes, you wanted to hear about specific examples, so I'll touch upon how a venue stood out for one of the very recent events we did. So as the discussion is happening amongst us, Sid, Nanni will like to share. In August we just did an event which was the first carbon neutral free event certified by United Nations, first time ever in healthcare industry in India. And you will be surprised to know that this was done at a hotel which doesn't even have a water bottle plant. And because when we talk about carbon neutral free event, so sustainability is not just about plastic bottles or probably no flex. So there is much more beyond capturing each carbon footprint and making sure how we are offsetting that carbon footprint. So, this was the event which we did at Crown Plaza, Gurgaon, and, we were surprised the way they went out with us wholeheartedly, and even if these small steps, how the there was third party obviously involved in capturing all the carbon footprints. But, getting this certified from United Nations was a tough task as well, because, they get into a lot of details, and the whole structure was in a way, like late nights, a lot of pre-discussions, they were all there with us, and, we are very proudly, this was all there in the media as well, and we proudly say that, we were part of it to achieve this. So venues are going all out to do something different, something new, and we all know, our government is also talking about, there are a lot of social companies, NGOs who are talking about sustainability and all that stuff. So, in fact, we ourselves have started using a lot of those factors. Very, very common example is we invest from our own pockets if the hotel is not willing to replace plastic bottles. That's something very basic necessity. But yes, hotels also understand that sustainability is much more beyond, and we should adapt to the new climate changes that are coming in for the country.
Very, very interesting over there. Siddharth, would you like to share something?
Yeah, so I would like to talk about this so very important relationship at first. I mean, a hotel is the nucleus of all event activities, right? So any new hotel opening up is new livelihood for thousands of people who are related to events, who are working every day. So it's a relationship which is completely hand in gloves. It is something which is so dependent on each other. And by the way, gone are the times when hoteliers were just dependent on FIT business. I mean, those days are yesterdays. It is all about events now. And in fact, for the hoteliers also, events is the nucleus of their economical activity. So it's a win-win situation we are talking about. So we're talking about a very, very critical and important relationship here. Now what's happening is, there have been systems and processes for hotel industries which have been made in yesteryears, since yesteryears, and the mindset is still typically FIT based. But the newer GMs, the newer owners are realizing that things are only coming from events. I mean, their whole revenue is coming from this side of business. Now they are realizing the importance of it. I will just tell you, I was moderating a panel with some seasoned hoteliers in the last event. I pointed out to my hoteliers that, do you realize you talk about such big things? Do you realize the person who's working for you every day, who's the lowest in the pyramid chain, who's working for all of us, is a labor. Okay? लेबर नहीं होगा, आपका स्टेज नहीं लगेगा, आपकी साउंड एंड लाइट नहीं लगेगी, आपका इवेंट शुरू ही नहीं हो सकता. What are you doing for him? You don't even have loos for him. You don't even have a designated water area for him. Leave aside food, you won't even care. But give him the basic necessities of giving him that dignity of life, to provide him the loo and water because this guy is coming and working at your place. Hoteliers have not been thinking on those lines at all. And that is where I saw, Rajiv Kapoor was on that panel from Fairmont, Jaipur. First thing that guy did, he went back and he had made those loos. In fact, he's asked me to come and inaugurate that for him. So, there are a lot of basics which are missing. And it's about time, it's high time we identify that, we talk about it openly. And I'm just giving you a small thing like lose. There are so many things like there is no audits, no processes for waste management for a hotel. How much of food is getting wasted on a day-to-day basis? A lot of our clients, a lot of new age, those Gen Z, NRI bride and grooms are coming in and they're asking us, what is the hotel doing for the food? If they're not doing anything else, I will donate it myself, whatever is left from my wedding. Then the hotel comes, no, you can't do it because it's against our legal policies, because we might get sued. All are like multinational brands, they have their legal issues also in place. So that a lot of things which on a day-to-day, but then good part is, I think the time now has come after 20-25 years of events getting evolved. Time has come when we are sitting across the table and talking healthily about what needs to be done. And that's an evolution, I would say, which has come across.
No, fair, very, very interesting and, factual points said over there. It'll only be fair if we get Anuj to also chip in here as the hotelier.
But just before he says
yeah.
something, I do want to add something. I
Sure.
have to share a very interesting experience. We just executed, in fact, my colleague is sitting here who went through a lot of grief with our client. But I'm glad we got that grief. Talking about future-proofing of the venues, we had an event called Inclusive, which was for the disabled. It was a disability thing and stuff, right? Now, there were some people on wheelchairs, there were some people who were blind, and honestly, this is a thing for everybody sitting in the hall, because we all need to learn about how to be sensitive towards such a situation. We did the event at a hotel in Delhi, very nice hotel. They exceptionally warm, hospitable, perfect staff, gave us a good deal, everything was fine. When the client came for the first round, she's saying, listen, your ramp is not okay, the ramp at the back is broken, how will the wheelchair people come up? Don't worry, madam, we'll have it fixed. 3 months down the line, the ramp hasn't been fixed. We had to call somebody from, it's ramp.in or something, to, make that lakdi ka thing for us. Other thing that we noticed was, now we had some blind delegates. So typically, the hotel staff did not know how to check in a blind delegate. So it's not their fault, because I went through the hotel industry, I trained in the front office. We are not trained how to check in a blind delegate,
But
right?
high time they include this in the trainings as well,
But
right?
I think it is important, because then the hotels need to have rooms which are disabled friendly.
Absolutely.
You can't have bathrooms which have steps. You can't have bathtubs. How does a wheelchair person go into that space? So, all I'm trying to say is that despite the venues, like I said at the beginning, despite the venues actually have pulled up their socks, they've actually made a big change. And venues, I'm not just talking about hotels, I'm talking about all venues. They made a lot of difference. They made changes. But this was stark in the eye, and this was just literally a week and a half back that we did this event. Shocker for all of us. Lot of learning for all of us from the event industry, I would say. But yeah, even for the hotel.
I think there's a lot to learn from these instances. Anuj, do you want to chip in here?
To answer Siddharth here, that hotels we need to innovate our own self. And as I mentioned before the COVID, we never innovated IT for the hotels. It was just a vertical for us. Now it has become the main vertical for us post-COVID. And we realized we can make more money in terms of the technology. And it is need of the hour also. It is not only about the making money. Equally, I would say that to talk about a bit on sustainability, then I'll definitely cover Siddharth topic, is I went to an exhibition at Pragati Maidan. So I really like the idea of a machine who's making water out of the air. There is a company, I am not advocating a brand here, but there is a company by the name of WaterGen. So they produce water from the air, which is a really nice, sustainable initiative. And I installed that in my hotel. I did a capex investment, told the ownership about it, and it was coming a bit expensive compared to the water bottle, but still we invested in that. We also have water bottling plant in the hotel, which is giving again employment to the company, wherein the person has installed the water bottling plant in the hotel. and we are giving plastic-free experience to the guest. And sustainability is not only about plastic-free and all that, as he's rightly mentioned, that it's way beyond. It starts from when guests book an event with us. Now I'm looking for a partnership. I was going through the earlier schedule and I found Spabla also be part of this conference. I'm already in talk with them that, so they will create an experience for us, for the guest. Guest can see the venue online. Guest can look at digitalization in that. And during the event, to answer his question about the food wastage, we as a hotel now promoting a lot of live counters, which gives a lot of experience and also help in having a lot of less food wastage to all of us. And yes, we are providing a lot of job to the local community. To talk about, since hotels has been known, and the venues also is part of the hotels, we are equally at the same industry events. It's all Atiti Devo Bhava, and I was talking to the same person whose name is just taken. I met him during the awards, so the GM of the Fairmount, and I asked him, so what excites you? You do a lot of destination weddings, you do a lot of experiential weddings. How is your market different than a Delhi market? So he said, Anuj, we create experiences. And what is difference in between hosting an event international and hosting an event in India is the personalized touch. At there, if somebody is hosting a venue, he may be spending a lot of money at Thailand. But does the guy serve, if the buffet closes at 10, does that event team stand by 11, 12? In India, it doesn't happen. In India, if you're hosting a wedding event, the wedding guy will be there till 4 a.m. in the morning, serving you tea and coffee. And that is how, hospitality is all about the touches. Hospitality is all about the personalization. Yes, we are evolving. We are looking at a lot of food wastages, which Siddharth has mentioned. And it will be takeaway for me that we have to look at the vendors' facilities, which is eye-opener for me, I would say. That great. So that will be takeaway from this, from here, that we have to go back and make.
No, I'll give you some more takeaways. There are a lot of. We will go to future proofing also. I'm sorry if I'm, I'm talking about basic proofing first. And, and that is important for you to lead to future because your basics should be right. In hot summer, in 45-degree temperature, we have a crew which is working overnight for a conference to begin, say, 12 o'clock in the noon, or 1 in the afternoon, or 9 or 10 in the morning. The ACs are not switched on. I mean, come to think of it, my entire, and I have all LEDs in the hall. I have huge servers lying on my console. I have everything at stake at that moment, and it can crash completely just because of the heat. Hotel doesn't consider all this. It doesn't occur to them. For them, it is that event शुरू होने वाला है, 1 घंटा पहले जाके AC on करना, अपना पैसा बचेगा, and that's how we need to see. See, these are the kind of things hoteliers needs to understand. I'm sure this might have not even occurred to you till the time I have pointed out today. So, and generally, even for working, for giving a good quality working condition for everyone who comes and work is a huge, it's a basic hygiene which is completely missing from our ecosystem, which needs to be addressed immediately for us to really move forward. And by the way, I will also take an onus on an event manager side also. We need to be more like chief mitigation officers. We don't need to be an event manager. Our role should be citing issues, and doing audits, which none of us do. Unfortunately, even event management is not well understood in our country, So somewhere we are also at fault. But then, future proofing needs to be when we get these things right, right? It's important. Tomorrow you won't get that labor working for you like the way you get it today. And the labor would say, no, I will not go and work in this hotel because this hotel staff is so rude. That security guy is so rude to me. Tomorrow you will hear that. Today you're not hearing it. But tomorrow this will come to you. So we gotta have to be ready about all this.
No, a fair point there, Siddharth. But how do you think, what can the event managers and the hoteliers do to close these gaps? Do you have any suggestions, advice? How can these gaps be closed?
So we have, I think, a lot of these platforms. In fact, we as EMA also will take this up. So Siddharth has been General Secretary, founder member of EMA, and he has always been very loud when it comes to certain point raising out in the, reaching out to the hotels and the stakeholders. So there are a lot of platforms, where we can actually, where we sit across with the hotels. We have the Hotel Advisory Committee as well as part of EMA. Naveen is right there, who has recently joined the Hotel Advisory Committee of EMA. So, yours Palwa guy. So, in fact, a lot of these things, there are platforms. It's just that the intention has to be right. And, definitely, even hotel is looking forward to opening up, hearing up this. Siddharth mentioned about Fairmont, already launching up this. So, I'm sure, everyone is in a position right now where, as India, we also want to grow the same infrastructure as we see in other countries. And, be it our manpower as well and the facilities that are being provided to them.
Shifting gears a bit and picking up from a point that all of you have mentioned somewhere is sustainability. Now, I see that is picking up pace and it's picking importance more with, like Siddharth mentioned, about the Gen Z, the youth being concerned about it. What are some of the initiatives that you have noticed or you have been doing as a hotelier to, adhere to this sustainability aspect, and why do you think it's on the rise?
As I've just given an example of water generating machine, and the second example is that we are looking at a partnership with Spabla. He's here, which is again a sustainable thing because you are actually not wasting a lot of papers, lot of emails you are not sending, and it's just on a one click you're looking at the entire venue and booking the venue. Apart from that, the kind of papers you use in the hotels now are biodegradable, and the pencils are also biodegradable. And it's not only about, as I mentioned, that in my own hotel, we have completely gone away from the gas range and converted to a PNG, which is again is a sustainable initiative we have taken. So there are a lot of such initiatives which hotels or venues are taking right now to make sure that, because the new generation is looking at it. Now, I was talking to, before the session, to him that we get certain queries, which is RFP in the hotel. We use certain terms as a RFP. So there is a platform by the name of Event. So we get event queries from there. And one thing which everybody writes on the email, if somebody is booking a event with us, a conference with us, sitting internationally, is how sustainable your hotel is, what all initiatives you are taking. Right from having electric vehicles to an event which is plastic free, having probably a conference where you're using everything which is plastic free. So they are looking at a lot of things while booking the venue. So it plays a vital role for all of us now.
Nanni, would you like to add?
Yeah, Sohini, before I say something, your age group is our target audience for this, right? What does sustainability mean to you? What do you mean when you say the word sustainability? What do you understand out of that?
See, I'll be very honest here. When my age group is talking about sustainability and water, they are just acting woke because they want to jump onto the wagon and go along and seem woke. I don't think actually a pure definition is being followed by this generation. Having said that, there actually are some who actually believe in conserving water and actually believe in no wastage and recycling, reusing. Some of them do believe, but most of them are just acting woke, is what I personally believe.
Right, so that was my point, that we just love, and a very good answer, very honest answer you gave. We love using this word sustainability, and how many of us actually understand what this means, and how many of us are actually working towards it, right? Just by not using a plastic bottle, We've got glass bottles here, we've got plastic bottles on the table. So I'm sorry, this hotel does not follow the rule. Straight away, right? And it's not nothing against the hotel, but I'm just coming to your point that when we're talking sustainability, we're talking about no plastic, we're talking about conserving, we're talking about reducing the carbon footprint. There is a lot that goes under the word sustainability. It's not a very small thing. So I feel if as venues, even if they start making small changes, that itself will lead, it's a revolution. And we need to kickstart it really big time. Because just look what's happening. Again, this thing has started, right? BS3, BS4, whatever, all that again is shut down. Why? Why should that happen? Why can't we have the control on the burning? Why can't we manage the pollution? That's all part of sustainability, right? So this is where the youth needs to step in. You need to understand what is sustainability. The venues they have started, they've evolved a lot I have to say over the last 2 years, they've actually evolved a lot. They've made a difference. Because I think COVID taught us a lot. You know, the general sense of hygiene came in. But still, this is not even a start, if you ask me. We haven't even started.
So to
Very,
add
very well
something
pointed
here,
out. Yes,
we as a company, I'm representing Radisson here, you know, every employee in the hotel has taken a pledge to have at least one initiative which is not even pertaining to the hotel, to their personal lives. Like somebody has to switch off the light, you know, and save electricity for 10 minutes during a day is again an initiative. So we have to start sustainability and everything from our own homes first. It's not about
the saying.
It's just a mindset, you know.
The
You have to
saying
change
really
it.
sets in here where a change begins
Yes,
at
and
home.
if you'll go to our hotel page, if you'll go to our company page, you will see a lot of hotels posting their pledges with their even junior associates, to a general manager, to a front office manager, to a F&B head. And they actually are taking the pledge and saying that we will do this, and we all are monitoring it. So that starts from our home. It's not about only the events or the venues have to make a sustainable practice. We have to start from our home first.
Ruchin, do you have anything to add to that?
So, no, I think there are venues have now started playing a major role here, and so do event managers. And I think government also plays a major role here. Government also has to step in with the this kind of strictness they have to bring in. You know, you won't believe the amount of plastic that is being used in events. I think government in South, there are some special restrictions where, you know, flex is not any option anymore. But just a small thing, you know, at least we are starting with it. You know, if I talk about this event right now, you know, we can always develop our lights in such a way that, you know, only that portion of light where it is required on the stage is on and rest are off. And, you know, so small things leads to a bigger picture. I think as us, we are the face to, you know, our companies, and it starts from us. We should definitely take this up in much more aggressive way. We have to be more disciplined than, you know, we always look up to government or anyone else to start changing policies.
Right. You know, another aspect that we have been discussing here is the hybrid events, post-pandemic hybrid events, digital explosion and all of that. Siddharth, I would like to come to you. Is it at all possible to maintain a similar audience experience when a venue is delivering a live versus a hybrid event? Or like, you know, if it's possible, then how are they doing it, or is it not possible at all?
It's just not possible. It's just not possible. You have to feel the vibe by being there. And yeah, I mean, hybrid experience definitely, you watch it through your television when you watch a live sporting event. You watch it through internet, through streamings, when you're not there, of course. But there's no replacement to being there. You know, vis-a-vis, if you compare. Yeah, I mean, if you can't afford to be there, you'll definitely watch it the way you want to. And if you really are keen on that content which is going around there, you will definitely watch it. But your experiences can't be matched. So that's definitely, I mean, that's been proven. Even COVID times, we saw so much of virtual thing. There was so much talks happening that would events die, you know, all that. I said, look where we are. I mean, we already have forgotten. what was happening, and a lot of people, even, see, good thing is, at least people understood hybrid a little bit. People understood there is the usage of medium of virtual, ecosystem. So that is understood, but no, there is no ROI there. There is no factual ROI there at all.
I would like to add here to
Yes.
Siddharth's question that, so we all are human beings, and look at the kind of, I would say, hypertension happen when somebody is working from home on a hybrid model and not going to the offices. I have certain friends who really want to go back to offices, but the company is not allowing them, and they are getting sick. They're getting a lot of disease. So it is, hybrid has come as another vertical, but it cannot take away the experience which all of us are having right now, meeting each other, having conversation. So hybrid is another vertical, which I would say
Technology cannot replace the touch.
You cannot.
So
cannot
events is all about meeting communities, right? That's the nature of events. This is what human being aspires to. Wants to be in the community, wants to be in middle of like-minded people, wants to exchange ideas, exchange experiences. That's what you come for an event.
Absolutely.
So Sohini, just adding to that, basically hybrid events have made it amazingly accessible for those who are not sitting here and are watching this live. So if you want to watch something, it's accessible. That's all there is to it.
Correct.
You cannot
Absolutely
look at
agree.
any experiences because you'll be having a coffee, you'll be on your phone, you'll probably get up in the middle and go to the loo and come back. But at least it's there. The
cannot be
content is there.
Yeah, right. With time's up flashing on our faces, I would like to come to the closing remarks. We'll start with Anuj. Any closing remarks on the future proofing of venues and adapting to the changing event space?
So as I mentioned when I started this conversation, is that event is all about creating experiences, creating personalized experiences. So we as event managers, event companies, and hotels have to focus more on personalization and customization, and that is something which is the future, which is a lot of hotels having unused spaces and now coming with hangars. So if you are customizing and giving a personalized requirement to the customer, to the guest, so it is a future actually.
Perfect. Nanni, your closing remarks?
Yeah, so right at the start, I said that the venues have really made a lot of difference. They've made a lot of changes, and things are getting better for sure. But like I just said, this inclusive event, which was all about inclusion and accessibility for the disabled, was a slap on our face, was an eye-opener. It actually told us that typically, I'm only speaking for Delhi and NCR, we have no hotel that is so disabled friendly that can check in a blind delegate. So I feel that seeing it's not something that we come across every day, so I'm not expecting every hotel to have this thing, but I think that's since this has come up, it's probably time for all of us to pull up our socks and kind of, stay abreast of what all we need to do and not get complacent कि हम लोग कांच का बोतल रख दिया and we are fine. That's not the beginning and the end of it.
Totally agree there. Ruchin?
Yeah, I think Siddharth has given me a food for thought today. I'm going to go back and definitely be a loud voice to the hotels for, at least doing the basics for our manpower, for our partner manpowers. And also, there are few venues where I don't want to name them specially, but I would definitely like to name one, which is IICC Dwarka, because I was a part of the inauguration. So, which one must go and see how beautifully they have made, and, the use of technology there, the way they have done it. So it's a kind of a ready model and example for a lot of the upcoming venues that are coming in.
Siddharth?
Yeah, so it's a very broad topic, and I think this panel time is not enough for this topic to be really justified and discussed upon. When I was the General Secretary for EMA, I did this one thing of, this was one collaboration we did between EMA and FHRAI. This collaboration was meant to create dialoguing. There needs to be huge amount of dialoguing which should happen on a day-on-day basis between us, because we are common stakeholders here. It's both our economic activities are dependent on your venues. There is so much at stake. So, I mean, there needs to be a common audit common processes developed. Somewhere a minimum common kind of SOPs should be made together between these two bodies, which come together while all stakeholders from their side, which are hotels, from our side, which are event managers, kind of follow those SOPs. And, then you will see things evolving much faster, and we kind of getting ready and be ready for the standards, like global standards, which we aspire to be.
Perfect. I think we have gotten quite a lot of takeaways from this discussion, even though there's so much yet to be discussed. I mean, I agree with you. This is a topic you cannot just wrap it. Yeah, I think word went out about. We were interesting. We kept the energy going from the previous session, I think. But very important points brought up with the sustainability bit, the manpower aspect, because I don't think a lot of people have actually thought about it. So I think really great work. Thank you so much for your insights. And I think if anyone has questions, they can. Okay, yes, I think we can take one question.
So I have an example. When we talk about sustainability, there are a lot of other factors too. If you look from long-term perspective, there are ways. There are a lot of ways. NGOs are making food for the specially abled or people who need that. If we form a model where the food wastage of the hotel is being offered to the NGO on a particular rate, which is still very low than what NGO has to make from a start and can offer to the poor people. Plus, we talk about electric vehicles. The running cost of the electric vehicle is far much lower than, any petrol or diesel vehicle. So, it's not just about fabric flex or printing on a fabric. So it's much more than that. Once you have a water bottle plant, the water will be much more cheaper than the plastic bottles that you see on your desk tables. So with due course of time, obviously, I don't say that within a year or so, but with due course of time. Sid.
No, I was just about to say this. It's a state of mind. Sustainability is not a cost, doesn't have a cost to it. It's basically a state of mind which you have to eventually develop in your life. I mean, it's some call it being minimalist, some call it being, however you want to look at it. But somewhere there needs to be a conscious efforts towards, are we doing things the right way? And I think more of that. And it's not about expensive or cheaper. It's about any client also tomorrow. Everyone is looking at it in a very different way now. And everyone has responsibilities. Everyone is more answerable today. So, it's just that we as ecosystem have not found the right model for it. These practices would lead us to for a far sustainable event or far sustainable activity or whatever. That is what we together have to find out and do it together.
People want to be seen as, I did a event which was sustainable event. That this SDGs, the UN, this entire thing, so people want to be seen as that as well. So many clients also, when you suggest to them, I agree with you, sometimes there are certain costs that go up, but you have to work around things. They are happy to make that change if it is going to make sense to them. And of course, like we said, the word sustainability is huge and a lot of people use it just for effect.
I hope that answers your question, sir. Thank
and
you so
BS4
much.
vehicle बंद करने से कुछ नहीं होगा सर मतलब sustainable होने कल
I think any other question can be taken offline with the experts. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, I think we can take one question.
So I just wanted to answer his question. So Sustainability is not going to happen in 1 year or 2 year. It's a long process. Just as, when the flywheel has to start, once it starts kicking in, then it goes to a different tangent altogether. Business profit is the sovereign criterion of any enterprise. And it's a very simple formula. Profit is selling price minus cost price, right? So the moment you start reducing your cost, now how do you reduce your cost? Leela is a very good example. What they are doing is they've tied up with Fool. Fool is basically takes all the waste florals and converts it into a dhoop batti or a agarbatti. So what they've done is, as a national operator, they give all the florals to the Fool. They come out with the options. Now we have Leela branded stuff, which they are using in there. So their marketing costs are going low. What I saw was they went to the exhibition in some Europe country, and the giveaways was the Fool branded and Leela branded stuff. So in a way, they are reducing the cost. The more and more you reduce the cost, once the flywheel kicks in, then obviously it's going to impact on the final pricing, which will be low. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I think those were some very nice insights for us to take home. But thank you so much.